super cold, so bear with me. Speaking of cold, I don't know if it's just me. Have you ever just felt so cold it almost puts you to sleep in a way. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Like my body just when it gets cold, it's like, oh man, I want to go to sleep. Like even in the car, I'll have to constantly adjust temperatures because I can never stick to just okay, it's getting hot, but I'm like, nah, I gotta crank it up. I gotta turn this. No, I gotta turn the AC off because it's getting a little too cold. Anyway, I'm getting off track. I feel like the same thing applies when you don't take a moment to realize what you've done, your accomplishments, and it's almost like when life begins to move too quick and you're getting stuff done, you're being productive, but you're not able to see the fruits of your labor. You're not able to see what you've done. You're not able to take it in, you know what I mean? It's almost like this one thing I read in class. It's called the imposter syndrome. Whereas, someone might be able to tell you of your accomplishment, of something you've done. I don't know if you hear it's raining. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Someone might be able to tell you of an accomplishment that you've done, you know what I mean? Something that you've done that's admirable, and you're like, oh, wow, not even that. You're like, yeah, that's, I guess I did do that. That's good, but you're always thinking about the next thing, you know what I mean? You haven't even really fully processed what you just did. And I think it's a mistake that a lot of us make in today, and especially when in a world where we're so driven by money, you know what I mean? So driven by the nice things and bringing this and this into your the intangible things, bringing the intangible things into your life. And for me, for example, providing for my family, allowing them to go to college, giving them all these opportunities. But I think we fail to see what we have already with us, what we've already brought to the table. And when we get trapped in this cycle of work, just work. You know what I mean? We're just going in circles of working. We'll have this goal, but somehow we never really achieve that goal. And let me explain it. So we have this goal, for example, I have this goal. I have this time I want to run in the 5K. Let's say 1930. I want to run 1930. 1930 is right here, right? I'm starting right here. I run to 1930. I get there. Somehow, when I was here, my starting point of, damn, if I could run 1930, life would be good, you know what I mean? Dang, I'd be fast. I would be so happy right now. I get to 1930, somehow that perceived happiness that was there isn't here. And I already have this next goal, this next level, this next step here, 1830, instead of appreciating the 1930. And I struggle with this. This is a weird dilemma for me because I'm yeah, this can be a good thing, you know what I mean? I'm constantly getting better, right? But it can also be extremely detrimental. And let me explain that further. If you don't take the time to appreciate what you have accomplished, what's the point? There's always going to be the next level. There's always going to be the next best thing. There's always going to be the next best time. There's always going to be the next new thing to buy. There's always going to be more that you could provide for your family, more that you can do. Aren't we doing it for satisfaction? I don't know if I said that right. Aren't we doing it because it'll make us happy, or it'll make somebody else happy? Why is it that we can't truly take the time to appreciate ourselves? Why is it that I can't take the time to appreciate what I've done? I think about this very often, and as of right now, it's just like, it was time to speak about it. Things are moving too quick. And when I'm like, okay, maybe now's the time, like I've done so much, I have this thing in my mind where I'm like, this is gonna make me lazy if I think about my achievements. You know what I mean? For example, I got a military scholarship to go to USF. Great, right? You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like it's almost like all I wanted to get out of high school. You know what I mean? Get a scholarship to go to school. You know what I mean? And go and pursue a career that'll lead me to a job that I hopefully love and will do for a very long time, right? How is it like at my starting point, I was like, man, if I get this scholarship, I'll be set. Life will be good. I have it now. It ain't all that I made it out to be. And I'm not saying that I'm not appreciative of it, but I feel as if we need to have the mindset that we had, not the mindset, the perception that we had of it prior to attaining that given goal or item or whatever it is. We need to keep that mindset, that perception, and hold it with us as we grow, so we're able to look at it and see that we did a good job, and like, dang, if I could do this, how much more can I do? You know what I mean? That kind of thing. And even the little things, I always get caught up like focusing on the end goal of taking care of my family. But there's so many steps to that goal, and in those steps is one little achievement, one little level up. You know what I mean? Right now I'm at probably level 10 for all I know, and there could be 900 levels more to go. And if there is no reward, if you aren't, and by reward, I'm not talking about something physical, tangible. It doesn't have to be anything like that. You know what I mean? It doesn't even have to be you taking yourself out to eat, which God, I love. But no, it doesn't have to be anything like that. It could be simply you just taking the time to sit and acknowledge, hey, I did something great. And if you're like me, who's like, I can't sit in that too long because I feel like, man, I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm going to get distracted, you know what I mean? I'm going to get full of myself kind of thing. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's admirable. It means that you're focused on bigger things, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? I'd say, I think there's a saying, like, it's in my English teacher's class. If your dreams aren't, um, if your dreams don't scare you, it's a Muhammad Ali quote, then they aren't big enough. You know what I mean? And that's a great thing. You know what I mean? I'm gonna, sorry for saying that twice. Anywho, that's a great thing, and yeah, it's not a bad trait. It's just you got to be able to manage between acknowledging your achievements and working hard to continue to gain more achievements. But I think it all comes down to being kind to yourself and giving a little lenience to yourself. It's crazy that I'm saying that because I don't apply that in my own life, but it's something that I would like to work towards, because it's definitely unhealthy to just continue working hard and not acknowledge your efforts. Yeah. I also wanted to touch on what is it called? When you feel like, I don't know if you're like me, for example, when you feel like, man, I need to do more so I can provide, or just be the best version of yourself for you, or, you know, anyone else around you. You need to, well, I've realized I have so much more that I can provide than just prosperity and wealth and opportunities. You gotta remember that you being human, you being on this earth, you being able to speak, you being able to connect with people and listen, that is something worth giving, providing, and offering to others. That is something that you can do right now. And the whole point is, use what you have right now, and if you want to provide for people, you already have everything that you need on the table. Yes, it's good to go for more. I actually encourage that, you know what I mean? But at the same time, don't forget to provide what you already have right now. Even just a simple conversation is more than enough to some people. I mean, hell, when I was working at Dunkin' Donuts, like, you spark a conversation with a older gentleman or older woman, like, they really do appreciate that. You know, it shows that you almost care enough to speak to them, and a lot of people don't have that in this world because everybody's in a loop. They're in their loop of their self. You know what I mean? Chasing the best version of themselves, or chasing items, chasing a lifestyle, chasing women, chasing pleasures, but not realizing outside of that circle, you have something, you have more than something. You have so much at your fingertips, not just at your fingertips, in front of you. You have human beings that, what I'm sure, would be willing to spark a conversation with you, that can share ideas with you and bring something that you can't buy, but is priceless. You know, yeah, like, if you could put a price on it, it'd be at the highest of the highest. And it's crazy that I'm just now taking this in, because like you hear the stories like, oh, like the people with the rich people, you know what I mean? The people that have it going, have it quote unquote, have it going for them, you know what I mean? Those are the ones that be taking a life. Those people are on antidepressants. It's because life is more than what the, no, life is more than, which you probably already know this, but it's more than items and prosperity and even a way of living. And you know what I mean? Life, at least in my definition, I've seen most good things revolve around love. And I don't know what your definition of love, but I'll provide a definition right now. Love is a intangible action. Love is caring. Love is selfless. love love provides, and love is unconditional, and love doesn't discriminate. And I feel like that's the one thing we're all able to provide here. And it's the one thing that you're able to provide. You can give it away for free. Even just a simple good morning to the next person that walks by you, you know what I mean? You don't know how that hits them. You don't know what they're going through. And even a compliment, believe it or not, I mean, when I get a compliment out of nowhere, it just boosts my mood. Like, for example, I had I would say it was a wholesome compliment. She was asking me, it was a lady while I was running, she was asking me, oh hey, can you check my brake lights and see if it comes on or whatnot? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, yeah, both of them are on, you know what I mean? And she's like, oh, thank you so much. And she's like, by the way, you look really good, and you know, keep up what you're doing. That right there hit me. I was like, oh shoot, wow. And just those words right there had so much impact. So imagine like what you can do, even just providing 2 compliments a day. You could change the whole course of direction of somebody's life. And because we know such little about people, I feel like, I wouldn't say we owe it to ourselves, but why not try to help people out around us? And you might question yourself, well, no one's helping me in this moment. Someone has helped you in your life. Maybe it sounds like I'm assuming that, but just you being here, you have so much to appreciate. Maybe even if someone didn't help you directly, which I kind of doubt. Maybe it was minute, but that minute thing, someone still helped you. Someone still cared about you in that moment. And they didn't have to do these things, you know what I mean? But I feel like everybody's helping out each other indirectly, you know what I mean? With their jobs, or say when you go and get a coffee, you know what I mean? Yeah, that person might be working for money, but at the same time, there's always going to be that one person that feels happy that you enjoy the drink that they made. They feel happy and they feel this sense of achievement just from making that frappe, just from making that brown sugar drink. I'm getting Dunkin' flashbacks. I was about to say a shaken espresso. But it's the little things. I don't really have a conclusion for this, but I would say focus on the little things. Give us, give yourself a pat on the back, and don't undermine your achievements. Keep getting it, but have a healthy balance of acknowledging your achievements, what you've done, what you're doing, the position you put yourself in, or just maybe even it's a comeback, you know what I mean, from coming out the dirt or coming off an addiction, or like you're battling addiction and you're like 1 week clean. Give yourself a pat on the back and look at it as, I can keep going. I did this for a week. What stopped me from doing it for another? Sorry. But yeah. I want to get back to doing these videos. I love it. They're not for really anyone, for example. I mean, I say that for myself, but I do enjoy sharing them when I do share them. I don't know if I'll ever post them. Not the best quality. I just kind of just throw the camera there and speak. But if you need to get something off your chest, I highly encourage you to make a video. Don't procrastinate it. Throw that camera on and just speak. Speak about your life. What makes it meaningful? What makes it insightful? What have you learned? And what do you want to pass on? With that, I'm trying to make some crazy conclusion. All in all, I would just say, be kind to yourself. Take your time. Acknowledge what you've done. Acknowledge it all. Acknowledge the people around you. Don't stay in the circle, the rat race. Hop out of that rat race. Look at what's going on around you. You are more than your job. You're more than what you know. You have so much to offer besides how much money you make and what you do for a living. It's not just that. It's about the impact you leave on people. And that impact, even if it's small, that impact creates almost like a crack that keeps making its way towards other people and making an impact on their life. You know what I mean? You might make an impact on this one person, and that same impact might inspire them to go and make an impact on somebody else, even if it's small, even if it's, hey, you look great today, you know what I mean? Or, hey, nice weather. They might be like, dang, oh shoot, dang, that makes me feel good. You know, maybe I should go make somebody else feel good. Or maybe it's just like, they won't even probably think that. It might just come off as an instinct, like, because you normalized what isn't exactly normalized today. So make your change in this world. It's really simple. All it takes is you being kind. Be kind to yourself. Thank you for watching. If you didn't enjoy it, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I want to get back to making more videos. And you should try it too. Alright, yeah, I'll end it there. Thanks for watching. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Yeah.